guys, Pample here, back at the railroad track, and today I'm going to be doing a bit more of an advanced tutorial, since if you've watched all the previous episodes, you're at a pretty advanced state. So, today we are going to be covering the high-speed tracks, which would include the high-speed track, high-speed booster track, and high-speed transition track. There's also a high-speed switch track, but I'm waiting to cover the switch tracks until a later episode. So, as I'm sure you can guess, high-speed tracks are called that because they go faster than a regular track. I'm sure you're perceptive enough to figure that one out yourself. So, anyways, to start out with the high-speed track, you're going to need high-speed rails and a stone rail bed. And believe it or not, this stone rail bed is actually made out of stone. Now, for the stone rail bed, you're going to need 4 stone ties. Now, a stone tie is made out of 3 stone slabs and a rebar. Now, what's a rebar? Well, it's not a stick, I'll tell you that. It is made in the rolling machine, pay attention to that, and it can be made in a couple different ways. It can be made out of iron ingots, and you'll get 4 of them, steel ingots, and you'll get 8 of them, bronze ingots, and you'll get 4 of them, or refined iron, and you'll get 8 of them. Same recipe, just different materials. So, I'm going to take 3 steel over here, and get some rebars. And I'm going to go in here, going to make 1 stone tie to go with my other stone ties that I already made. Make a stone rail bed, and there, that's our first component for the high-speed rails. The next one, though, is the high-speed rail itself. Now, the high-speed rail is made out of steel ingots, blaze powder, and gold ingots. So I guess take that into account before you make the stone rail bed, that you do need steel for this. And I believe there's no other way to make it. Yeah, no other way. So, yeah, if you don't have too much steel, then don't use steel for... And I forgot to put this in the rolling machine again. Yeah, a lesson for all of us, make sure you... Darn it. Lesson for all of us, make sure that you pay attention as to whether or not the recipe is in the rolling machine or the crafting table, or else you'll do what I just did. So anyways, we've got our high-speed... Okay, yeah, this is in the crafting table. High-speed rails and a stone rail bed, and you get the high-speed track. Now, for the booster track, you need 2 pieces of redstone and stone rail bed, so it's basically just high-speed track, but you fill the empty spots with redstone. So let's do that. High-speed track, stone rail bed, and yeah, high-speed booster track. And these, as I'm sure you can guess, are the same as just a regular powered track. They just power it up, but they're a lot stronger since it's a high-speed track. So then there's the high-speed transition track. It's 6 high-speed rails. Stone rail bed can either go on the top or the bottom, and then there's 2 redstone that are adjacent to each other. So 2 redstone, stone rail bed, and high-speed track. Now we got all 3 of the components that I'm doing for today, so now I'll show you how they work. I went over here and I made a bit of a test, and here it is. As you can see, we've got ourselves the high-speed track. It's just zooming along there. And it's got all 3 of these types of track on it. So as you can see here, here's the high-speed track, the regular, just spread all over the place. There's the booster track, used to power it up. And then there's the transition track. Transition track is very important, and how you place it can really make or break, literally make or break, your track. The transition track is here. What it does is, if the cart runs over it and the arrows are pointing against the way the minecart's going, it'll slow it down. Whereas if it's pointing the other way, it'll speed it up a bit. You don't want to use transition tracks to speed up your minecart when you're on a high-speed track, because with high-speed tracks, they're very dangerous, and your minecart's at risk of crashing. And actually, in Minecraft Tekkit, if you crash your minecart, there's no crashing animation, so it'll just blow up. That's all I'm saying. If you do this wrong, your minecart will blow up. So, if your high-speed minecart track needs to make a turn, or if it needs to go up or down a slope, it needs to have a transition track pointing in the direction against the way the minecart is going. And as you can see over here, I have an identical piece of track here, but it's made out of regular stone or regular tracks and just regular powered rails. And also, I don't have any of the transition tracks on this one here because transition tracks will only slow it down. So I just want to show you how much more powerful that one is than this one. Now remember, it's exactly the same and actually has less slowing effect because it doesn't need it for turning corners. So I'm going to push this one off. And it's going, it's going, it's going, and it stopped. Let's try it again. Push, and it's going, 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 and it stopped. So yeah, and that just goes to show that this high-speed track is just a lot more powerful. Even when it has forces slowing it down, it'll still go a lot faster and it'll be a lot stronger than your regular minecart track. Now, in case you didn't believe me when I said your minecarts will explode if you don't do it right, I'll show you here. Here I have powered rails just to speed it up. Then I have a corner which is unprotected with the transition track. As you can see, this one is protected. This one is protected a lot. Sometimes you need to do that depending on how fast it's going. All these corners, they're protected with transition rails, but the one that I have way over here is not. So let's see what happens. Push. See? There you go. It blew up. Now, sometimes the minecart blows up, sometimes it doesn't. All depends on the situation. And as you can see here, it just kind of ran off the track. On high-speed tracks, if your minecart loses grip on the track, it'll also blow up. So you just got to be careful. So yeah, that's it for this episode. See you for the next one.